Hey there, gang. I'm Danny J.
And I'm Joel N. And we are
Keep on Tolkien.
And welcome back, guys,
Welcome back.
for our weekly react.
Yeah, thanks for showing up. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And so this episode, we knew going into it that it was going to be controversial.
Everyone was telling us. It was all over the goddamn Discord.
All over everything. And so we were trying to keep an open mind, but at this point, you might say that
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We're not loving it so much.
we're not loving it so much anymore.
At least this episode.
I mean, so as far as I'm concerned, this episode would have been just as good as any of the other episodes had it been not for the weird Silmaril lore that they decided to try to make up.
Right. Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get into it. So let's just go through the episode chronologically.
This might be a long one, guys. We got a lot of notes here.
Okay. just a fair warning.
Just a fair warning.
So, first scene we had was with the hobbits migrating. They had a fun song that they had. It was an original song.
Yeah, it was an original song. I thought it was pretty cute.
It was pretty cool.
I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. They included the extraordinarily popular line, not all who wander are lost, which maybe a little heavy-handed, but it was fun that they incorporated that into a song.
Little, I think the English teacher would say cliche.
A little cliche. There you go.
There you go.
But I mean,
I took English class.
My migrating song about wanderers.
Right. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I dug it. It was a cool song. I'll probably listen to it again.
Then we see one scene with
just
that. Who is this character? I've been calling this character a priest because they look like a priest or a priestess. They were in the previews. This is the first time we've seen them the whole show, and we get one scene where this priesty mage mystery person.
It could be an elf.
Could be an elf.
Could be
something else. Could be a man. We don't even know at this point.
Could be Saruman.
For all
they're
we
in
fucking
all
know,
white.
This could also be Sauron himself.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
But this is Sauron too.
This character finds the stranger's crater. The stranger who we think is probably Gandalf.
I just been straight up calling him Gandalf.
We've been calling him Gandalf because we don't know what to call him yet, but he's clearly one of the wizards, and it seems like Gandalf. So we've just been kind of calling him Gandalf.
Yeah.
Might not be.
Who knows? Who knows?
So at this point, we've been calling him Gandalf. Gandalf's crater.
Gandalf's crater.
It
was Gandalf's crater.
And so after this, we went on to some more Numenor shit. We're learning that Eärien is becoming one of the kings.
Yeah, what the fuck? I was like, okay, cool. Daughter of Isildur, new character, or daughter of Elendil, new character.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's palling around with Farazon's kid.
Yeah,
and she seems to be leaning towards. I don't know if she's just anti-war, or she's
right,
a guildsman, leaning toward the guildsman people.
Yeah, I kind of like the whole guildsman angle that they took on the Numenor stuff. I thought that was a good call.
And straight up, they're fucking terrorists. They blew up that ship, dog.
Yeah,
what the
Farazon's son
fuck?
blew up that ship.
What a terrorist. And then Isildur covered for him after that? That's fucking...
I understand he didn't want to get in trouble for stowing away, but
holy
still...
shit,
that
dude.
seems like... one of those things is a little more egregious than the others,
Yeah, I was blowing up the ship.
Well, we also had some more Halbrand this episode.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, he's out of jail for some reason.
He's out of jail, which we thought was weird at first, and then I just got to kind of thinking, maybe that just speaks to the superior, and we're Americans. We're Americans. Hi. So the superior criminal justice system that Numenor has.
Yeah, they must do pretty good on reform in Numenor. They got the system down.
Exactly, they got it down. This guy's already out of jail. He's got a job that he's good at.
He's got a job. Yeah, he's smithing now all of a sudden.
And it seems like his status in Numenor is fine. They're not going to kick him out. It doesn't seem like.
Right, he seems to be in decent standing all of a sudden.
Yeah, Numenor is better than we are, guys.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's a super duper good smith. It's clear he doesn't want to go back to the Southlands. He's probably Sauron. Sauron too.
There's so many Saurons.
We got to see King Palantir waking up at the end of last episode, and now in this episode he's calling Muriel to give her a message.
We're thinking this dude's about to kick it. We're thinking he's about to die.
I think he's going to die soon, honestly.
Yeah, and then another thing that, speaking of that, they really drove home the fact that this is why I think he's going to die soon, is because they really drove home the fact that Farazon and Muriel are cousins. In this episode, they mentioned it several times.
Did they mention it several times?
Several times.
I remember catching it once.
No, they said it. He said it once, and then she said it once. I think.
Are we gonna get into? Are we gonna get into actual canon? Are we gonna get into like cousin fucking?
The cousin fucking thing. That's what I'm thinking. Like he's gonna forcefully marry her to like he does in the book or whatever.
Yeah, which normally I would consider to be maybe a little too spicy for TV, but with how popular Game of Thrones is nowadays, who the fuck knows? Maybe this is them trying to. They're like, what we need is a fantasy show with fantasy shit and incest. That's what we need.
Incest is incest. Get it?
Yeah. So possibly incest coming. Just technically
just
in
a
canon,
fair warning.
So.
Well, I suppose it's not. If it's their first cousins, is that incest for everybody? I don't know.
I guess it depends.
Where's the line? Where's the line?
I think most people. would consider that.
I do as well.
A little too close.
I do as well.
So we got some more hobbits migrating through the woods.
Yeah. Pulling them wagons.
And Poppy's pulling her own wagon like a beast, as always.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just wanted to. Are you done with that point? Because I want to skip ahead to this next one. Super hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. We finally got to see something in this episode which we were robbed of in the Peter Jackson trilogy.
In the original trilogy, we got a payoff that we would have wanted there, but we got it here.
In Gandalf fighting the wolves.
Who we assume is Gandalf fighting the wolves in the woods, defending Nori and friends.
Yeah. He does area damage straight up with his fist.
Yeah. Boom.
Whoa. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, I can do that same move in D&D.
He's like, I do that in D&D.
Area damage.
We would have hoped there was a little more wolf fighting because that was kind of cool.
I wanted to see
badass.
I wanted to see him tear those wolves apart. That was such an alpha move though when he grabbed it by the chest and just hurled it down to the ground.
It's a
fuck you.
It's a big person move right there.
Yeah.
So another cool scene we got was Galadriel sparring.
I loved that scene. I know it was kind of like, overindulgent maybe a little bit, but it was
fun. I genuinely enjoyed that scene. I thought as soon as I saw with the setting, I was like, they're gonna have Galadriel do some sparring, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just to show how badass she is. And sure enough, a little predictable, but it was fun.
It reminded me of, if you guys out there like martial arts movies, that the scene in the movie Ip Man where he's just like, I'll take 5 guys or whatever. I can't remember what he says.
Yeah.
Because you win like money.
You win rice, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you win. Yeah, it was for rice.
It was
That's
while
right.
they were occupied.
Yeah,
so.
It was during occupation. Yeah, I got to see this movie again. It's a really great movie.
Great movie.
Ip Man, say it again. But they were doing it for rice, and like the more rice you got, the more people you fought. And he was like, "I'll do 8 or whatever at the same time," and he just whoops them all.
But in this situation, it's Galadriel fighting a bunch of fucking cadets who they're getting dangled. The promotion
of lieutenant?
Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun scene. We definitely enjoyed that one.
It just says Ip Man in the notes. I love that.
Then we had a scene between Farazon and his son where they say something like, the elves serve us, some racist shit that you'd expect from Farazon.
Yeah, that's the scene where it says cousin twice.
And this is also the scene where Farazon kind of reveals his motivations for actually going to help Galadriel, because you'd think he wouldn't want to back up Galadriel with troops, but he's all for this.
Right, for some reason.
His son's grilling him about it, like, why would you do this? You're a nationalist. Why would we go help these people? And he's like, well, basically he's thinking like empire shit.
Empire shit, dog. He's thinking.
Yeah, he's thinking if they help establish a kingdom somewhere in Middle-earth, naturally they're going to get a ton of resources from Middle-earth. They're going to get ore, they're going to get wood, they're going to get labor more likely, and they're also going to get, fertile farmlands and crops.
Yeah, he says, let's install this shitty puppet king in the shitty Southlands and exploit these people. Hell yeah, that's what he wants to do. Fun guy, our
Fun guy,
Farazon.
a true American.
Yeah. He is the most American character in Tolkien, I think.
I honestly think so. So then next we had a scene between Muriel and her father, the current king, Tar Palantir, who's probably on his way out.
Probably.
He has a pretty ominous message. He says, kingdom is in danger, and then he says, quote, don't go to Middle Earth. All that waits for you there is darkness.
Yeah, I'm kind of having a feeling that they're not going to do the cousin fucking thing and that she's just going to die in Middle Earth, and then they're going to be like, oh, it goes to Farazon because he's her first cousin. I hope they don't do that, though. I hope they confront this cousin fucker stuff head on, guys.
I could see it. I mean, maybe they'll Game of Thrones it and they'll include the cousin fucking. We'll find out. We'll find out.
And then people will be like, oh, they're ripping off Game of Thrones, and be like, nah. They ripped off Tolkien. Game of Thrones, there's incest. There's at least a couple types of incest in Tolkien.
It just doesn't get quite as sexual.
Yeah, it's like, it's there, but it's not.
George R.R. Martin's a perv. So.
Yeah, he is a perv.
I'm not saying he's a bad writer.
But a perv.
A little pervy.
What do we got next?
There was a scene with Gandalf where it looked like he was trying to heal himself in the water, but then he started doing like a freezing spell. Yeah. And he froze himself, and then he froze Nori to him, and then
she got all scared.
She got all freaked out, but then he like exploded and like threw her like out into the woods, and yeah, she really freaked out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this is Gandalf just like coming to his senses, you know?
Or Gandalf could also be Sauron.
He is very well likely Sauron as well.
This could also be Sauron, you guys.
I think we're all Sauron, guys. We all have a little Sauron in our hearts.
We all carry a little Sauron
just
with
a little
us.
bit. Just a little bit of Sauron.
So then we had a pretty cool scene between the elves and the dwarves in Lindon, where they're having a dinner, like an honorary dinner.
Yeah, this scene was beautiful, too.
Bring the dwarves and the elves together, and there's some tension between Durin and Gil Gallard. Yeah, I enjoyed this scene quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, they're eating on a table made of stone. This is really funny. This is such a dwarf thing. And you want to tell him what he says about the stone?
Yeah, so Durin looks down at the table and he says that the table is made of a stone that's highly valuable and only used for monuments and tombs for honorable dead. So it's like, he's saying it's clearly insulting that they would be...
They're eating on
this stone table that's supposed to be for tombs and monuments. And, you know, and Gil Gallad's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. We'll send the table back with you, clearly.
Yeah.
Later on, we get a cool payoff on that scene.
We get a cool payoff on that. Yeah, and why is Gil Gallard such a dick?
Gil Gallard is a huge dick.
And I think he's kind of a dummy, too. I told Joel this. I was like, doesn't he kind of seem like a dumbass? Like
seems a little too dumb to be a high king.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't quite have the intuition that even... basic fucking soldiers should have in this. I don't know.
All I have to say is not my Gil Gallard.
Yeah. Not your high king?
He's not my high king.
I didn't vote for him.
I didn't vote for you. I think they hired that dude just because he looked like the dude from the prologue.
Honestly, maybe. I mean, he does look a lot like the guy. He's not a bad actor. I don't have any issues with his acting so far. It's just like they've clearly written his character to be an angry dick.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Guess. Whatever, Gil Gallard.
Gil Gallard. So next we also have a scene with Gil Gallard and Elrond where they kind of address this whole thing where Gil Gallard had previously known that there was some kind of mithril or some kind of ore that the dwarves had that he wanted. Mm-hmm.
And this is where it really fucking goes off the rails, guys.
This is, yeah. So this was the problem.
This is what we don't feel that great about. It's not sitting too well with us.
Yeah, so this would have been just another episode to me until we got here.
Exactly. This is the crossroads.
Gil Gallard.
This is when you're like
some Amazon original shit that they decided to call the Song of the Roots of Hithaglir.
Yeah, this part of the show is like that part I was saying in The Hobbit when the edibles start kicking in. Like, this is what you're like, wait, what? This is
so
really...
Up until this point, I think with this, we have officially hit, and I'm loath to say it, but I think we've officially hit Hobbit level bullshit.
This might be some Hobbit level bullshit.
This doesn't mean the whole show is Hobbit level bullshit. This is Hobbit level bullshit right here. There's still a lot of the stuff that we enjoy.
Yeah.
This is some bullshit.
Is it series breaking? We'll see, right?
This has had more of an effect on us so far than anything else.
Yeah, this has dampened our spirits a little bit, guys.
And so the legend goes like this. Apparently it's an obscure legend that they say is considered apocryphal.
He says it's apocryphal, and I was like, this is apocryphal to Tolkien, is what it is.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that they would say that it's apocryphy. Like, this isn't
Ironic.
totally true, but they're kind of making it true by bringing it into everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an exact quote. He says, "It speaks of a battle high among the peaks of the Misty Mountains, not over honor nor duty, but over a tree within which some claim was hidden the last of the lost Silmarils."
What?
Right.
What?
There are no remaining lost. All 3 Silmarils are accounted for at the end of the first age. 1 in the air, 1 in the water, and 1 in the earth.
Deep in the chasm of the
like
earth.
Way up the butthole of the earth. Like,
In the butthole.
in the butthole. Like, everyone...
Way up the butthole.
There's a lot of, like, Silmaril fan theories out there about, like, the Arkenstone and other things possibly being... It always
equally bullshit.
They always seem to be focusing on the Earth Silmaril. Is this...
Always the Earth one. Nobody's looking for the
that-
fucking ocean one.
No, yeah, and so I just hate this whole...
Those sentient whales, almost sentient whales have it.
Silmarils are done. The Silmarils are gone. The whole story arc involving the Silmarils ended at the end of the first stage. They're all accounted for, and they are where they will be until the end of the world. None of this shit should be happening. But anyway.
Some bullshit.
So the story goes on. It says, on one side of the tree fought an elven warrior with a heart as pure as Manwë, who poured all his light into the tree to protect it. I also take problem with that line because an elf wouldn't really be able to pour his light into the tree.
That's not really how it works.
Because that's the only person able to do that was Yvonne, and she was only able to do it once. So there's no way an elf would be able
really
to
go
achieve
that way.
Yeah.
Like, you absorb the light of the tree, it doesn't really go the other way around.
Yeah. Anyway, moving forward with the tale, it says, as pure as Manwë, who poured all his light into the tree to protect it. On the other side, a Balrog of Morgoth, who channeled all his hatred into the tree to destroy it. Amidst their duel unending, lightning ensnared the tree, and forging of their conflict a power. And the tale goes on, told by Gil Gallard, who says, a power as pure and light as good, and as strong and unyielding as evil. They say it seeped down the roots into the mountain depths, but for centuries now it has waited, the ore holding the light of the lost Silmaril. And this being the origins of Mithril.
Yeah.
So there are several issues with this. One, again, Silmaril, no.
No.
Mithril is not lit from within, not really. Like, it
It's
catches the
just
light and
shiny.
it reflects the light back at you brighter sometimes.
It's real shiny.
It's real shiny. It's not lit from within. It doesn't have the light of a Silmaril in it. There's no Silmarils anywhere. Now, that being said, if they had taken the Silmaril out of this story, I think that would have actually been a pretty fucking cool origin story.
Yeah,
for
it was like the
Mithril.
combination of evil and good magic coming together.
To
create an ore. That's
like
not
like I
bad.
said, I'm not down for like an elf pouring his light into the tree, but if there's like some good and some evil fighting over the tree, and they're locked in a battle of magic of some kind, lightning comes down. I thought that was a pretty cool fucking story.
Well, you know who else battled a Balrog on the heights of the Misty Mountains? Gandalf. What if they created more Mithril while they were up there, dude? Holy shit, dog.
There was no tree.
Oh,
You're missing the tree.
Oh,
bro.
man. If only they had the tree.
If only they had
created
a tree up there.
A tree with a Silmaril in it, apparently. They could have made... As you can tell, me and Joel are just kind of fucking dumbfounded.
Yeah, that was more than a stretch. Amazon Studios, that was too much.
Come on, guys.
I really liked that story outside of anything to do with the Silmaril.
Yeah, the Silmarils are... I thought we weren't using them, remember? This is the second age.
That's gone, guys. That's over.
Come on.
That's not part of this. Come on. And once again, Gil Gallard is not cool.
Gil Gallard is not cool and seems like a dummy.
Seems kind of like a dummy. And then they go on, so there's more than that. That was the issue.
Oh,
actually.
yeah,
this was also an issue.
Okay, guys.
It's part of the same scene. The whole reason why Gil Gallard wants the Mithril, because it has the light, is because apparently the light of the Eldar is fading, and that is evident through this dying Malorn tree in Lindon, and they need the light in order to like revitalize their lives.
Yeah.
Or some shit. No, please.
It's like that Even Star, the shit from the fucking
no, dude.
trilogy. remember Arwen's fate is now tied to the. Why? This is some that level bullshit right
Why?
here.
This is that some that level bullshit.
Some
Why?
that level bullshit.
Yeah, and then at one point Elrond says something like, if they don't figure this out by the end of the season,
They have to leave by what was it? March.
by the end of the season or something.
Yeah,
by the end of the
like
year.
by
And
the end of spring.
Why?
Or perish.
What? Why?
What?
Why?
Why?
Since when? How? No.
Who?
No. So jumping back into Numenor, we got some fun scenes with Isildur and his friends. He lets his friends punch him twice, and he says it felt like 3. That was
It felt like 3. That was funny. I like that. Dude, the way his face hit the ground was a third punch.
Yeah, that looked pretty fucking rough. That was
rough.
pretty good
Yeah,
shit.
that Valandale. I don't know if that's like supposed to be his
friend?
his cousin Valandale, like
maybe.
from the Westlands, but his ancestor was named Valandale at least.
Okay. I don't know my Numenorean kings.
Yeah, he was the first king of Indonesia,
Okay.
or first lord of Indonesia, Valandale.
One of the lords. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and then we also get the terrorist scene, where our Farazon's son blows up that boat.
What the fuck?
Damn. Like, I'm not saying that was a bad thing. That didn't upset me by any means.
No,
It
I
was
just
just,
didn't.
damn.
I didn't take the guildsmen for terrorists. I mean,
Yeah,
I suppose
shit.
eventually they do start burning people alive, so it's not much of a stretch, I guess.
Yeah, they got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, you got to start with some low-level domestic terrorism before you get into burning people.
And then there's this weird scene where, like we mentioned earlier, our Farazon's kid and Isildur are both on the boat. Isildur was trying to stow away.
Yep.
And then they both get off the boat together. Neither one of them, I guess, wants the authorities to know that they were there. You know, Isildur doesn't want to know he was stowing away because he wanted to help the efforts. And naturally, our Farazon's son didn't want anyone to know that he blew up the goddamn ship. And for whatever reason, Isildur thought that,
I think it was because he kind of repented at the end.
seems like pretty equal secrets here,
Yeah,
you know?
are these equal secrets? I don't think so.
I won't tell them that you blew up the fucking ship.
I was hiding on a ship versus I blew up a ship. I don't know. One is like a misdemeanor, and the other one is a fucking domestic terrorism. So you tell me, you know?
Yeah. But it seemed like they were kind of almost buddies at the end of that.
Yeah, which is I'm kind of thinking because like like we said in the podcast actually, the fact that the Kingsmen or the Guildsmen in this don't just outright go for the Lords of Indonesia, even though they know that they're the faithful. Like what was keeping them at bay, and we figured that through some Tolkieneering that it was probably because Amandil and Farazon were friends as children, but Amandil's not in the series.
Amandil being Elendil's father.
Elendil's father,
Isildur's
correct.
grandfather.
The last Lord of Indonesia, as it were. But yeah, I'm thinking that they're just going to use this kind of friendship between the two.
Yeah, they're
to
forging
keep that same
a new friendship
status
between these two
quo.
characters for the same effect. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I think.
which makes sense. That
yeah,
whatever.
because
Seems
I'm,
like
I'm,
something
I'm,
they do with one of the films.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw out a shafted on fucking Amandil though. Where the fuck is he?
Yeah, where is Amandil? He was
Maybe he's
actually,
back in Indonesia though. I don't know.
He was a pretty heavy player actually in the story
yeah.
of the fall of Numenor. He was
He's
the
remember
last like good force trying to help
yeah.
give good advice to Farazon and shit.
Yeah, he sails away to ask for pardon like Eärendil, remember?
Yeah, and he never comes back.
Yeah.
So next we got more scenes with Elrond and Kell Brimbor this time, and this is the scene where Kell Brimbor explains that if they can get enough mithril fast enough, they can reinvigorate the life of the elves using the light of the tree, or using the light of the Silmaril trapped in the mithril, and stop them from quote-unquote diminishing.
What?
No. And also, we think that Kell Brimbor is kind of fucking manipulative in
Oh
this
my
scene.
god, when he basically compared him breaking his oath to
Eärendil's
journey.
Yeah, his
because
father.
I'm the only one who could. Dude, I was like, fuck you right there, Kell Brimbor. I kind of got some
manipulative.
You know, I'm always these Feanorians. I'm not so nice to trust. I'm not so fast to trust them. So already not scoring points with me, Kell Brimbor, with your manipulative old fuck. And it's because he looks old.
He does actually look a little too old.
He looks pretty old.
He looks pretty old. So next we also got a scene with Halbrand and Galadriel, and this is where Halbrand tells Galadriel again that he did quote-unquote something back home in the Southlands, and he thinks that, everyone's going to throw him out if they find out how bad it was.
Right.
Maybe he's also Sauron.
He's probably Sauron
Probably
too,
Sauron.
or the Witch King.
Or the Witch King, or both.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Or Kamul, the Easterling.
Who fucking knows, man? This could go anywhere at this point.
Yep.
Next, we have a scene where the Southland men pledge their loyalty to Adar. This was kind of a fun scene.
Yeah, that sucks. I was surprised that so many of them were down to do that. Yeah, and they try to really swear allegiance to Sauron, but Adar gets mad when they use the word Sauron.
Yeah, he legitimately grabs that guy by the throat,
Chokeslammed him.
Chokeslams him onto the ground. Doesn't kill him, but
but chokeslam him.
And afterwards, he's like, "Well, we'll swear fealty to you then."
Yeah, whoever you are. I love that guy.
He's just like, "Aren't you Sauron?"
What a fucking sheeple, by the way. What a fucking sheep. We'll serve whoever you are then. We thought you were Sauron. Fuck you.
Do you remember that race of people in Doctor Who get conquered so frequently that it's just their culture to accept their conquerors?
Yeah,
and
just
they
totally go with the flow. Yeah.
At one point, the character explains that they plant palm trees in the streets to shade the streets for the conquerors as they come to conquer.
Yeah, dude.
Something like
they
that.
Just totally roll out the red carpet for conquerors.
Yeah, that's this guy.
You might as well.
That's these people. But yeah, after that, we get a scene where Theo finally opens up to Arondir about this fucking creepy blood saber that he has.
Yeah, and Arondir seems to know that it's a key that you use to conjure some foregone craft of the enemy that used to enslave the ancestors.
Yeah, so it's
okay,
some tool to enslave them.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That was
what was
cool
the deal
context.
with that statue that they uncovered?
I was trying to figure that out. I couldn't make out what that statue
Is it the key?
actually was.
Does the key go in there? Is it because they mentioned that around the same time?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out in what way it's a key, in what way it's a power. They still have yet to kind of explain these things. Maybe this is like a power to become the Witch King.
Yeah. That'd be
know.
sick.
That whole statue seemed kind of vague. It didn't. I was trying to make out like it was a figure holding the sword. It didn't look like it. It was just like a statue.
Like a sword.
Like the sword and just some weird stone artwork around it. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to check that scene out again and pause it a couple times and see if I can figure it out.
See if you can figure it out. Get to the bottom of it.
So then towards the end of the episode now, we get a scene with Durin and Elrond walking through the woods, and they're currently have the table with them. That
this
they're
one
bringing
starts
back.
out funny. I love
this
that.
is funny because this is...
I love one of the elves slips too and almost drops the table. That shit's really funny.
And they're trying to treat it all extra good now because they think it's some super special sacred stone. And this is when Durin laughs and we find out that it was all just a bunch of shit. He made it all up.
Yeah, because he said Dees has been begging for a kitchen table or a table for a long time or something like that. He's just bringing it home for the wife.
Oh, that was funny. Dick, that was funny though.
Yeah, I really like that scene. I like how they play the dwarves for comedy, but not in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, they don't play them for stupid.
I do gotta say that. That's one credit to this show. Would you agree? You're a dwarf guy.
Yeah. They're not playing jokes on dwarves so much as there are dwarves playing jokes on other people.
Right, and there's comedy around them. It's not them that's funny. You know what I mean?
I like these dwarves much better than the Hobbit dwarves, and I think they're... I mean, we don't get much dwarves in the Lord of the Rings, but they're pretty close to it.
Yeah.
So then they go on, and Elrond touches base with Durin about the dwindling of their souls and their need for Mithril, and Durin basically gives in, but says we still got to convince my father to go along with it.
After being assured that the entire elven race is in his hands.
Yeah, he liked that. That was kind of funny.
Being very assured, yes.
That seemed very funny,
say
and you can tell that.
Say it again, only slower, Elrond.
I can only imagine how Durin's father is going to want to take advantage of that. So we'll see how that plays out. And then the last,
which I think is the dude from the Green Mile, but I'm still trying to figure it out.
It could be. It looks kind of like him.
And yeah, he's a Scottish actor, I know. So he's cool. Anyway, that's one of my favorite character actors that I don't know their fucking name, but he's awesome.
I think it's our last scene here was the scene with Halbrand finally choosing to go back to Middle-earth, and the Numenorean guard and everyone marches out. We see her getting super upset that she sees Isildur leaving to help Galadriel because she's becoming super nationalist now.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, me and Joel also agreed that we thought the Numenoreans would wear more blue
and green. Yeah, for some reason I didn't expect quite as much like gold and whatever this eggshell white color is.
I always thought like silver, green, and blue were their colors,
But I think they were described as wearing like bright mail, right?
Yeah, always bright and shiny.
Always
That's what
bright,
they always said.
So
yeah, their swords and mail were always very shiny.
I guess they interpreted that quite literally in terms of color tone.
I suppose, yeah, they are quite shiny. They don't look bad by any means.
They're pretty cool. I really liked the design. I just was kind of surprised at how white a lot of the
just real white. Yeah,
but they all look pretty good. But that was pretty much it. So this episode was particularly shaky for us because
problematic is the word I'd like to use.
Yeah, and it's mainly because of the inclusion of the Silmaril shit. Saying that Mithril includes the light of a Silmaril, aka light of the trees.
What?
And this whole super extreme diminishing of the elves.
Yeah, that too.
And how they think they can reinvigorate themselves with Mithril light, which not a thing. Otherwise, everything else in the episode was just fine. I actually thoroughly enjoy Durin.
I would say it was 60-40 bullshit versus good stuff. Or good stuff in the 60%.
Good in the 60, bullshit in the 40?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
What would you say?
I might have almost put it closer to 50-50, honestly.
Okay.
But, yeah, that surprised me. I did genuinely really like that story about the origins of Mithril, just if they had taken the whole Silmaril out of it. Didn't need it. It was a cool story.
Leave the Silmarils alone. Hashtag.
You almost had it.
Leave them alone.
Hashtag leave the Silmarils alone.
Yeah, hashtag start it up, guys. Hashtag leave the Silmarils alone.
There's a curse around those Silmarils, man. Believe me, you don't want them.
You don't want anything to do with them.
You don't want anything to do with them.
If someone ever comes out of a van on the street and asks you if you want anything to do with some Silmarils.
Is Bezos one of the 7 sons of Fëanor?
No. Holy shit.
Is he?
He is.
Fuck.
Bezos is secretly searching for the lost Silmaril, you guys. Don't let him find it.
Don't let him. I think that's all. That's all we got for you today,
and it's
guys.
so fucking weird.
A little longer than our other reviews, but there was a lot to say. So
there was a
thanks
lot
for sticking
to unpack. Yeah, thanks. So, yeah. Just kind of confused. Everybody on the Discord said I was going to have an aneurysm. I almost did. Not quite. But I was close.
It was not good. There were issues.
Yeah, we paused it a lot.
We did. I had to take a lot of notes. I was like, hold on, what the fuck did they just say?
What the fuck did they just say?
What the fuck did they just say?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, well, so stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot more of this. We're going to make sure to be analyzing these a lot closer as we go forward now, too.
Yep. Well, that's it for us, guys. I'm Danny J.
And I'm Joel N. And we are...
Keep on talking. Damn, we ended real weird.
Yeah.